Hello, and welcome to Sports by Compian. My name is Steven Compian. I am joined here by Corey Compian, the motherfucking best co-host in the whole goddamn world. How you doing over there, Corey? On this fine ass Sunday we're having here.
You know what, man? Any better I could stand it. I'd have to pay ninjas to sabotage myself, which is counterproductive because who knows how effective ninjas would be. They might cause more damage than I intended. So really, I'm at a good level of just fine because, again, if it was any better, I'd have to sabotage myself.
Sabotage yourself, and that would be counterproductive because we do have the Snow Ninjas actively sabotaging a lot of different people for us right now, don't we, Corey?
Yeah.
Job,
yeah.
Sabotage. It's a real thing. It's a full-time job.
Full-time job. You can. It's mostly to keep the Snow Ninjas employed because occasionally you need the Snow Ninjas, and if you don't, keep them on your payroll, they're going to go elsewhere, and then you don't have any Snow Ninjas when you do need them.
And we all need Snow Ninjas in our life.
Sure do.
But anyway, you know what else we need in our life, Corey? A fucking proper breakdown of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I am wearing my Simeon Rice jersey, not an official NFL jersey, because the NFL has plenty of money and they can afford for me to buy a non-official jersey every now and then, Corey. But the important part of this is that Simeon Rice was an absolute legend for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And now we will be discussing his team this day, Corey. We will also be discussing the Tennessee Titans down there in Nashville. Before we get to that, I do want to talk a little bit of international rugby, just to go ahead and let the people know that we watched them over the weekend, Corey, because we did. We saw the likes of...
I didn't.
Well, we saw the second test match that happened a while ago, but Sports by Compian has finally gotten some time to go around and review the film. Remember the film session we had the other day? Remember?
Yeah, I was there. Yeah, for sure.
In spirit. In
spirit. I teleported my left nipple spiritually there, and my left nipple watched it.
Really? Because I did feel like my left nipple was a little bit weird during that film session. So it's good to know you were there with me in person. I mean, spirit. But anyway, we saw Japan take on the mighty, what could possibly be the best international rugby team right now, Corey, France. Now, I'm not sure France played all of their starters because, like, Dupont or this guy who's supposed to make the best scrum half in the whole world, I didn't really see him on the field. So France is playing this super hot fucking game with Japan. Like, it looked like neither of them really wanted to win at many points in the game. It was just so hot. 10-minute hydration breaks all the time and tons of errors, lots of scrums, lots of mayhem in general. And this is a very young Japanese side, dude. A lot of these guys barely had I think like something like 8 or 9 of their starters or 10 of their starters don't even have 7 international starts under their belt. So this is a super young Japanese side, and you saw a lot of the old guard, the old Japanese team sort of get subbed in the second half. So this was more the young guys, and man, they brought it. This game was tight the whole game. The whole game, this game was tight. Japan should have won this. They absolutely should have won this, Corey. They had the upper hand for most of the game, had the ball most of the game, but just could not capitalize on opportunities, dude. They had so many chances to score and get ahead and put another score ahead of Scotland and just could not take advantage of it. They even scored to tie up the game and take the lead and win at the last minute, but the guy knocked on the ball at the last second. So it was like that kind of game for Japan, man. But they had this one try where they attacked the outside corner and got the ball to their 13, and dude, this guy had the nastiest. As he's getting tackled, just with this sidearm, just shifts it off to his friend as he's getting tackled. Creates a perfect 2-on-1. The one guy beat him up the middle as our number 6, and just one of the more gorgeous tries I've seen. And then they had another one right after that. It was like the commentator was like, "That's the best try we've seen all summer." And then they scored again. He's like, "That might have been the best try we've seen all summer." Holy shit! It was just beautiful play from the Japanese. When they were on, they were on. But Corey, they were making stupid small errors. So that 13, great pass. The dude struggled the rest of the game. oh my god, I was so disappointed in my boy Riley. He had this cool like bandana. I was like, all right, this guy's dope. Dude, he struggled the rest of the game. Had like key knock-ons, key like getting tackled and trying to get up and like go over the ball and like would create a knock-on and give the ball back to fucking France when they're desperately trying to just hang on to the ball and score if you can. There's like 10 minutes left in the game. You're trying to keep possession. The dude turned it over himself like 2 or 3 times. It was brutal. Their number 7 for Japan impressed the hell out of me. Dude had like this crazy ass defensive stop. He was so tall and lengthy. He kept on hopping over the French and like counter-rucking the fuck out of them. But he had this one this one defensive stance where like he tackled like 3 people in a row. Gets pushed up on the end zone, super injured, super hurt. And like, they're like, hey, do you need to come out? He's like, nah, I'm good. And you literally see the dude just running around like dragging a dead leg behind him almost. And I was like, what is going on with this guy? Why are we not changing him out? No, dude, they just left him in there. And then like he just recovered. But like later on in the game, he was fine again. It was just running around, just counter-rucking the fuck out of the French. Their number 7 had a fucking game, dude. So good for that.
He's out there doing Asian guy stuff. Good for him.
I mean, he barely looked Asian. A lot of these Japan residents, dude, real suspect. Like guys like, like their number 8, their number 20 who scored for them at the very last minute but knocked it on. This big ass Samoan dude who apparently moved there when he was a kid. So it's a lot of that kind of stuff going on.
So they're Japanese the same way that I'm Costa Rican.
Exactly. So like Riley,
like dude, I could play for the national team of Costa Rica. Like I've been recruited. They're like, hey man, you want to go play Mexico with us? And I'm like, no, I don't want to go to another fucking country with you losers. No, we're gonna get wrecked.
It's exactly like that. So like that Riley guy I was telling you about, they're 13, Australian. They're 14, also Australian. So it's like, they got some suspect players there, if you will, Core. But
whatever it takes, man.
A very young Japanese squad, man. They fucking brought it. The Japanese rugby is like, they're not like the biggest guys, but they just have like a weird flow to them. It looks really beautiful. It's a cool style of rugby, if I'm being honest. I like it a lot.
What I like about Japan, dude, is like they're so small, but they're so good at sports. Like they'll get medals in the Olympics. They'll be in the World Cup in soccer. Like right now, they're playing the under 20 female. They're playing Spain for the final tonight. Like these Japanese people, man, they just athletes. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean for a small little island, it is pretty impressive for sure.
It's not a very big pool of people. It's like the size of, I don't know, New Jersey. Like, take the population of New Jersey and then try to make a world-class sport team out of it.
Kind of. I mean,
they do.
I don't know the exact numbers, but yeah, it's pretty insane, dude. Those Japanese are some hard workers, and they're definitely not one of the better rugby teams out there, but they by all means should have won this game against France. Like, granted, I said at the beginning, I don't know if France was playing all of their starters or. I'm pretty sure I didn't see DuPaul out there, their main guy, but either way, France should have won this.
They're just resting starters, I guess?
I have no clue, dude. I have no idea how any of this works, really. It was a test match, so maybe like the guy was playing for his club team and it was more important to him to play for that. I don't really know. Or maybe he was out there and I just didn't notice him. I thought he was number 9, but the number 9 was definitely not the guy. Now, Corey, are you seeing my screen here? Let me go ahead and share this screen with you. Bam. Let's talk some football, dude. You ready for this business?
I'm excited.
Oh, hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. We'll come back to these Tennessee Titans. Let's talk about the real important stuff, Corey. These Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is a Super Bowl team that won... Well, I'm sorry. This is an NFL team that won their Super Bowl not last year, but the year before that. Shocked the world, if you will. Rolled in there as a wild card. Got past Washington to start our journey, rolled into New Orleans, a team that beat us 2 times during the regular season. But hey, the boys found a way. We get past New Orleans, send off Drew Brees to his retirement, head into the NFC Championship game against Aaron Rodgers. Fucking shocked the world there too. Picked off Rodgers a couple times. Some controversial, pass interference. Yeah, whatever, man. Fucking bamzo. You know what, dude? You guys had a shot whenever fucking Brady threw 3 interceptions in the second half, and you guys couldn't capitalize on it. So, I don't want to hear it, Packer fans. Buccaneers moved on from there.
Rodgers went on the Joe Rogan podcast.
I've actually listened to the first hour of that. It's pretty cool. I'm excited about that. It should be fun to listen to. They're kind of in the phase where, like, Rogan's just talking to him about random stuff like eating bugs, and Rodgers is like, what? But yeah, it's a good time. I'm gonna listen to the rest of that one for sure. I don't have anything against Rodgers. I'm just saying the Buccaneers beat him that year and then went to the Super Bowl and kicked the shit out of Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, who had beat us previous in the year. Anyway, all that to say, Buccaneers had a great run last year, not as successful, Corey. Turns out we had to play against a guy named Cooper Kupp. And you were actually present with me in this bar. It was after a very interesting ceremony that we were involved in. We showed up to a small, tiny, little shitty bar in Costa Rica. And granted, this is a small mountain time bar, but I will still talk shit about them because just because you're a small little mountain time bar, it doesn't mean you have to be a shitty, absolute trash bar. And this bar was. And this is why, Corey,
so I will
say this, Corey. Their seating arrangement alone is absolute trash. You cannot give us tiny little stools with no back support in a place where we are paying for food and intend to sit for more than a minute. It's unacceptable. Fucking embarrassing. But anyway, what were you going to say about this shitty little restaurant? And I may have a perception about them because I was watching something very disturbing. But still, fuck that place. Go ahead.
Me and Chris, we had actually gone on a scouting event, and we went to like 2 or 3 different bars. And we were like, "You guys gonna play the game?" And they're like, "We don't know. What game?" And then they all gave us half committal answers, but that place was just the closest. So we were like, "Yeah, path of least resistance. Let's go to the closest place."
It was super limited options. We were in the middle of fucking nowhere. But that said, if you're a restaurant owner out there,
slightly larger town, like another 15 minutes away. If we wanted to be ambitious, we could have got there,
right. But we didn't, and there was a lot of non-ambition that day.
Non-ambition.
There was a lot of non-ambition going on that day, and you know what, dude? We shouldn't have to. We shouldn't have to go to anywhere and sit like fucking peasants on a goddamn stool without even back support.
Take that random bar and fill
that little bar restaurant is. They should be fucking embarrassed. And if you out there are a restaurant owner and you're hearing this now and your bar or restaurant doesn't have proper seating, you guys deserve to be shut down. Just saying.
I feel like we should find them on Yelp and give them a bad review and be like, "Your chairs are stupid."
I don't have time for that because I really don't remember the name of this advice. I don't care enough to do that. But I will shit on you on my podcast and let people know that your random bar sucked. So anyway, and plus I remember the waiter kind of sucking too, didn't she?
She was also very uninterested in actually serving us because she's like, "This is my Sunday. I'm talking to my neighbor because he's the only person that usually eats here. He brings his own chair from home.
Of course.
I don't know what you guys are doing here, but you're making it weird. Can you go home?"
Can you just leave? Like, what do you mean you want beer and food? This is ridiculous. Can you just leave?
How dare you? Go home. You're making me work, and I'm not into that.
I remember I ordered 2 dishes, Corey. I ordered 2 dishes. Like, I ordered like a couple.
We all did. They got confused. Yeah, we all ordered 2 dishes, and they're like, "No, one each."
They're like, "No, motherfuckers. You guys all get 1 dish." So these idiots not only cannot figure out their seating arrangement, but they also want to talk themselves out of money, apparently. So anyway.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, was ultimately a good thing because the food was pretty trash, and I was content with my 1 trash dish as opposed to 2.
Yeah, so their food sucked too. So yeah, we really
again
this place on it in person actually.
To be fair, though, for being a weird little mountain town, I really can't expect too much from them. Like, you know,
expect proper seating. Like, give me some shitty food. Well, I thought the food was fine. It's really hard to piss off food for me. Like, I would have destroyed that food anywhere. I was hungry as fuck, so I would have destroyed anything. But give me a proper seating arrangement so I can watch Cooper Kupp absolutely destroy the Tampa Bay secondary. And that is what happened. Now, the Tampa Bay secondary isn't special. Cooper Kupp destroyed a lot of secondaries last year. But goddamn, dude. We had like fucking 40 seconds or some shit. Tied up game. And we're not going to be able to cover Cooper Kupp down the goddamn middle? We're going to put 1 guy on him? That's not on Winfield. That's not on Winfield. We can't expect anybody to cover Cooper Kupp one-on-one at this point, dude. It's ridiculous. So yeah, sure enough, motherfucking Cooper Kupp got into field goal range and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers knocked out of the playoffs, Corey. But fear not, the GOAT came back. And he is ready for another season, Corey. And I think Super Bowl year. Don't try to deny it. You sense it, don't you?
I like it.
Excuse me.
It's for sure possible.
Let's have a look at this roster, all right? Because we got some stuff to say about all this stuff. So, let's have a look at the depth chart. Maybe we don't have the depth chart.
I feel like you got to find that elsewhere other than NFL.com.
Yeah.
Like you have to go to like Tampa Bay's website.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. All right, let's do that.
Full site.
All right, so obviously our wide receiver room is fucking loaded.
You guys got Julio Jones? Hell yeah!
It's insane, dude.
I hope he gets a ring, man. I really hope Julio gets a ring.
Yeah, I mean too, actually. That's a good point. Yeah, no, we are loaded at receiver, dude. Obviously, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, some of the best receivers in the whole NFL, but they are now backed up by Julio Jones, and we don't have Russell Gage here because he's injured, but Russell Gage is also on this team, so we have a solid number of 3-4 receivers. Not to mention all these guys on the fringe trying to make the team. We got Tyler Johnson, we got Rashad Perriman, we got Devin Hopkins, this new kid who came in, and also the fan favorite, Corey, Scotty Miller. Scotty Miller is 100% on the roster bubble and very likely might get cut. So he might not be our guy for too much longer.
So the dude that that came in and caught that pass, I think he caught a touchdown pass from Brady when they were trying to do that comeback after Antonio Brown dipped and they were trying to, make it happen with
Cyril Grayson. We had to cut him.
Who? Oh, really? Come on. My man showed up at your hour of need and you cut him? That's fucked up.
Dude, that's how deep we are at receiver right now. It is insane, the receiver battle going on in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Do you think that dude will get a job elsewhere, or do you think that's it for him? Had the one catch in the playoffs and he's done.
He's going to be working somewhere else. If not with us, we'll keep him on our practice squad and we'll sign him whenever all the injuries start to take place. He's going to be playing somewhere.
Right.
He'll play somewhere in the NFL this year. We've kind of developed him. He was mostly a track guy. And then we sort of have taught him what he needs to know about catching the ball. He's been with us for about 2 years.
I had never heard of him.
Right. Exactly.
I had no idea who he was, and he just out there making touchdown passes. I'm like, I guess Tom Brady can make anyone look good. That's fair.
That is what we'll tell you about the GOAT, dude. But anyway, Corey, absolutely loaded wide receiver room. Now
I will say it's hilarious that now you're bought in on the GOAT, because I remember when Tom Brady was first getting signed with Tampa, you're like, no, I want Winston. Winston's our guy. No, we don't want Tom Brady. He's old and washed.
Hold on. I never said that. All right, that's just great. Don't put words in my mouth, okay, over here.
Definitely was the vibe I was getting from you.
Whoa, buddy. I will not have you slandering what I've been saying on Sports by Compian. I was a Winston guy. I will 100% say that to this day. I still believed in Winston. I didn't want them to move on from him. He was young. I still wanted to win with Winston because that felt like winning with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that we were. It didn't feel like, bringing in somebody else to make it happen for us. But I never called the GOAT washed up. Do not fucking put those words in my mouth, bud. Okay? I will not hear that. Granted, I was a bit of a hater on him. Who wouldn't be? The guy's been over there with the Patriots just absolutely dominating for multiple years, and of course, never on my team. So yeah, I was not a fan. But
I just thought it was funny you didn't want him.
I never said that. I only said that I really liked Winston, and then they brought him in. I was like, okay, I'm bought in now. But yeah, I 100% liked Winston, still like Winston. But yeah, it's you get to go. What are you gonna do? You got to move on. But I was a little bit resistant to the idea. Obviously, I was completely wrong. But, I definitely never called him washed up. How fucking dare you? Goddamn. Slandering my name out here, Corey. On my own podcast, no less.
Slandering your name, slandering Tom Brady.
On my own podcast, no less. On our own podcast. Now, Corey, I wish I could say the same about our offensive line depth, because we are in serious trouble. So, Donovan Smith... Actually, we drafted him many years ago, and the dude's just been solid for us, getting better every year of his career. Very cool, because the Bucs fans were talking piles of shit about this guy whenever during 2020, during 2019. Hell, I remember whenever we re-signed him, Cam Jordan, the defensive end for the Saints, I commented on it. Like, oh, sweet, man, I'm going to continue feasting for a couple more years. Fuck Cam Jordan. But it was a pretty funny comment. I think this podcast has said fuck Cam Jordan multiple times, which is accurate and true. And I kind of like Cam Jordan, but he is definitely an asshole.
I actually know who that is, so. Take that, Cam Jordan.
Anyway, defensive end for the Saints. It sucks. Now, Corey, the position I'm most worried about is, of course, left guard. So, Luke Gadecki.
Oh, yeah, I've seen this dude. He's got the crazy mustache. Yeah.
Luke Gadecki is like, he's a rookie for us. Hasn't been playing great, but neither has Nick Leverett. Neither one of them are very good and kind of like pushing forward to be the starter. Ryan Jensen is probably out for the year, if not for most of it. So we have Robert Hainsey, who we drafted 2020 or 2021. Either way, he's been looking okay apparently. So, and then we got Shaq Mason, who we traded for from the Patriots. So I'm not worried about him. Obviously, I'm not worried about this right side at all. We got Tristan Wirth and we got Shaq Mason on that right side. It's the left side and the center. It's gonna be a little dicey, dude. A little dicey. And honestly, if any of those guys get injured, we might be fucked. Like, we really don't have many other people. We lost Denny for the year, which fucking, I'm pissed at Stinny. Stinny was this guard we have, but the dude like fucking like during like the very first week of fucking training camp, this idiot, they're just going like, you know, they're not full pads, nothing like that. This guy grabs our new rookie and just toss him into fucking Ryan Jensen's leg, and that's what had him tear the ACL. It's like, idiot. How are you grabbing a D lineman and throwing him at your fellow fucking offensive lineman? Like, what are you fucking doing, dumbass? So Karma came and got that guy, dude, because he tore his ACL during preseason. So don't throw fucking heavy 200 and some fucking 300-pound men into your teammates. Don't do that, because Karma will come.
Didn't a good move.
No, dude, don't do that shit. So yeah, I mean, whatever. So Stinny's out for the season. Hopefully Ryan Jensen comes back at some point. The tight end room is looking better, dude. They got Cameron Bray.
Why do you have so many? Why so many?
We're gonna make some cuts. So we got Cameron Bray. They went out and got Kyle Rudolph in free agency, and then we drafted Cade and O'Keefe. So O'Keefe is more of a blocking tight end, and Cade is actually pretty good. He's out of Washington. So we might keep both those guys and probably lose J.J. Howland. I don't even know who that is. But O'Keefe had a pretty cool draft video. He was there with all his like redneck boys, and they're all like pretty excited. It was a cool video. It was like the minute, like, you know, they suddenly noticed he's on the phone. Like the whole like they're all sitting in this, like, it looks like a basement or something, just kind of chilling. Like, there's a bunch of rednecks just hanging out, and then like the dude's on the phone. He's like, "Oh really?" And like suddenly they all hop up in their chairs like, "What? You going to the NFL? Huh?" I just thought it was a cool moment, you know. And they all got pretty excited.
What round did he go?
He was like 6th or 7th. So it was like late.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So it was like a shit, am I gonna get drafted or not type situation. That's cool.
Yeah, it was very cool. He was
because you gotta imagine for those first rounders, they're just like, am I going number 1 or number 2? Whereas those dudes that are like good, but they're on like the cusp, like it's gotta be fun to be at one of those draft parties and have it actually go your way.
Yeah, for sure. You know, like, you know, it was just cool to see him like there with his family, and like, you know, you always want to see that out of your guys. And he played with Minnesota for his whole career. You know, not a lot of receiving or touchdown passes, but he was mostly a blocking tight end for them. So I think he's going to do a similar thing for us, much like Luke Stalker back in the day. Bucs fans remember Luke Stalker, good old stud, but mostly a blocking guy. So that might be what Koki fills for us here.
So if Rudolph is here, he came over from Minnesota, right?
Sorry about that. Anyway,
who's the tight end over in Minnesota now then?
They got a young guy. I think they got like Kyle Irvin or something like that. They got rid of Kyle Rudolph a while ago.
Speaking of tight ends, though.
What?
Speaking of tight ends, you see, I think it's like Thaddeus Moss or something like that. It's Randy Moss's son. He's in the league now. He just got drafted. I feel like I would have heard a bigger deal about him previous to him like injuring that dude from the
Giants. The only thing I
Giants.
know about him is just him injuring that came on Thibodeau.
I guess he's not that good. Like, I don't know.
No, he's not as good as his dad. Obviously, we would have heard of him. But I mean, he's probably not. He's probably one of those guys. Maybe will be better with time. Who knows? You could never really.
There's also not too much hype around a tight end. Like,
right. Well,
some of the best tight ends in the league now got drafted in later rounds or went undrafted. So
right, exactly. So we'll see if he has a good career. But it's kind of funny that the first the nation knows about him is like, fuck this guy, get him suspended, get him out of here, dirty hit. It shows what people know about football. That was, I mean, I watched the play. It was unfortunate, but it wasn't a dirty hit. Like, he was definitely going a little bit lower, but it's like AJ Hawk broke down in the Pat McAfee show. As a defender, you should be engaging that thing and moving your feet out so that you don't fucking get caught like that. So
it really just seemed like a fucking a casualty of turf. Like, I'm assuming that was a turf field and his foot just got stuck in it.
I'm not sure.
Like, I feel like if it was grass, it would have kind of slid.
It might have been the turf a little bit. It might have just been the freak accident, dude. These people are fucking strong as fuck. So if you make one wrong move or don't move your leg out like you should, because, what was it? AJ Hawk was saying his right leg was too far forward. So it's like, you know, you got to kind of get that leg out of there so you're more mobile to get away from blocks. Either way, wish the best for Thibodeau, man. You hate to see it. That really sucks. You know, he was like a really, really early pick. So I hope he can bounce back from this and still have a decent career. I see Blondie in the background there. Hello, Blondie.
She's exploring.
It's good to see you. Hey, this has been some pretty good coverage here so far. I think before we go any further, we should break down our first non-sponsor sponsor of the day, Corey. And that would happen to be Liquid Death. You have heard of it before. You've known about it. It's out there. Liquid Death is water in a can as opposed to in a bottle because, Corey, you know why? Too many
recycled cans.
Too many fucking plastic bottles out there, dude. So buy your water in a can. Buy a Liquid Death. It's usually about the same as a water can bottle. You can get it in cases. That one was sparkling water, and it was a berry flavored one too. So quite delicious.
No way.
And yeah,
sounds like a Propel.
They have a lot of different flavors that are really good. So anyway, drink your water out of a fucking can, not a plastic bottle. Don't be a heathen. And also has some great Liquid Death flavors because also it's just cool. Like, you know, Liquid Death, like, it's pretty sweet. I think their slogan was, "Don't be scared, it's just water." But either way, it's water from the Alps, mind you.
I drink tap water. Just like that here, man.
I drink a lot of tap water too, but also sometimes I drink.
Give me that delicious, that nutritious chlorine.
So as I was mentioning, there's Russell Gage. You see our boy Scotty Miller likely going to get cut. Who knows? Jalen Darden, our 5th round pick from last year. I have never been impressed with the kid. If we cut him, I will not be like super sad, Corey. I won't be like writing you letters like, "No, my boy Darden is gone." And then this guy, Jared Stins, had some pretty good catches in our first preseason game against Miami. So we'll see what happens, man. That's a competitive wide receiver room. Of course, at quarterback, we have Tom Brady. We got Mr. Blaine Gabbert. And unfortunately, Kyle Trask has had a rough preseason. Has not necessarily looked amazing. I mean, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to end our preseason 0-3, which I could care less about. I mean, it's preseason. But it's still slightly alarming about how bad our backup boys are doing. I was looking at some of the stats from that game against the Colts. Like, it was like 3 and outs like every 2 minutes. So that's not great for our young boys that are trying to practice and, you know, the future. Not looking amazing. Anyway, over here at running back, we got the old Leonard Fournette, Mr. Money Down. Keyshawn Vaughn, our 3rd round pick from 2020. Looks like he's coming into his own a little bit, having himself a decent preseason. Giovanni Bernard, veteran pickup from Cincinnati. Didn't play a lot for us last year, but hopefully he has a better year this year. And we also drafted Rashad White to be that 3rd down back, I think, receiving back out of the backfield. 2nd, 3rd round pick for us this year. Guy looks okay already in preseason, so we'll see what happens. He's probably going to beat out Patrick Lard for that 4th spot. We might even get rid of Bernard. You know, it's going to be interesting how many. I can't imagine they'll go into the year with 5 running backs or 4 even. They'll probably do 3. But what do I know, Corey? I'm not the coach, you know. Le'Veon
Bell didn't land anywhere, right? He pissed off what's his face, and they're just like, nope, no one wants you now.
Nah, he didn't even play last year. Nah, he's out. He sucked the last like 2 or 3 years he was in the league. He literally did nothing.
Well, so I think he was with the
So he went from
what was the name?
He went from the Jets to the Chiefs and absolutely sucked with the Chiefs and did nothing with them. And he claims that Andy Reid ruined his whole career. I think you ruined your own career, buddy. But anyway, you're also a running back.
I think he had
your time expired.
He had a brief stint with the Ravens. last year, I believe, and I think he got cut from there. I think that might be it for him.
Yeah, they might have brought him in for like a week workout or some shit like that. But yeah, I mean, dude, like, not to be an asshole, but I didn't really like Le'Veon Bell that much. He was okay, but he's a Michigan State guy, so I like that about him. But whatever that whole situation was in the Pittsburgh, like, I'm not in business. I'm not the one deciding whether this guy gets paid or not. But I think he fucked that season up. You don't sit out a whole year in the NFL as a running back in your prime. Like, that was a mistake, and I'm sure he feels that too. I'm sure he knows that was a mistake.
I recently saw a thing about the Killer Bees, Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, and Von Bell.
Yeah.
It was interesting, but those dudes just hated each other the entire time. Like, they were like good because they were all good, but at no point did they like each other, and they were just constantly sabotaging. And I think that's why they didn't get a ring together.
Yeah, that checks out, dude.
Just too many egos.
100%, dude. Like, all right, I liked Antonio Brown when he was with the Bucs. Like, I'm not going to deny it. Dude probably was one of the best route runners I saw. Like, it was insane. Even that Jets game where he just ran off like a psychopath. He was having a game. He was having himself a fucking game. Like, he was burning the fuck out of those Jets. Like, the dude, there's no doubt he's talented. But holy shit, he sucks as a person. He just sucks, dude. The dude's an asshole.
It's a weird dude.
Like, I don't know. Before I was like, whatever. Nah, dude, this dude's straight up an asshole.
He's quirky.
Dude,
no, he's dead.
Most recent thing he like released about like my biggest regret is that I'll never be able to see myself play. Like seeing. Oh my god, dude! You saw that quote, right? I don't know how to go into it, but like,
yeah.
Oh my
a
god.
Dude like him, I think he just needs to take acid. I think if he did like acid or ayahuasca, he would have a come to Jesus moment with himself where he's like, "Oh, maybe I suck."
Don't be a pussy. Don't take like a half tab. Take 4 fucking tabs.
Yeah.
Go meet Odin himself and see what he has to say about your arrogant attitude of fucking Brown, motherfucker. Go meet fucking Odin, and we'll see what he has to say about your fucking attitude, dude. Guarantee you he's not going to like it. Guarantee you you're not going to come out of that fucking 4 tabs.
You gotta...
Or a fucking half ounce of mushrooms. Do whatever, dude. Fucking go talk to your ego. You got to figure your shit out.
It sounds like that's what happened with Aaron Rodgers. He just, started dating a witch, started doing all the psychedelics, and he just had an ego death and was like, this is pretty cool, man. I'm getting paid a bunch of money to play football, and I'm, like, really good at it. This is fucking cool. Dude, all right, I guess I'll just keep doing this then. And then he just wins back-to-back MVPs. It's like, well, yeah, no, turns out.
And I'm not a hater, right? But Brady absolutely should have won the MVP last year. Dude had, like, 40-some touchdown passes. Fucking way more passing yards than Rodgers, and went further in the playoffs than Rodgers. No, wait, they went to the same distance. But either way, it's ridiculous. The dude did this at 44 years old, no less. So what?
So is it by votes, or how does that work?
It was by votes, and I think Rodgers had, like, better percentages on some stuff or whatever. But, like, dude, Brady had more touchdowns, more passing yards. I mean, what are we doing? There's, like, multiple games I could point to last year where Brady just went off and somehow won that game. Like, we had no business winning the game, but Brady, like, just decided, no, I'm going to win this one. Like that one with the Jets. Literally, like, fucking, people are already injured as it is. And fucking, your best receiver runs off like a psychopath. And you're just like, fuck it, dude. I'll throw it to this motherfucker over here who's a track star, and we're going to still win this game.
Do you think that Tom Brady is just like a Madden-controlled player, and just whenever he loses games, he just reloads the game, and he plays it over, and that's how he just consistently wins Super Bowls?
So it's all just a simulation, then?
And Tom Brady is the guy playing the simulation. But it's kind of like he's not really focusing on the other stuff, and that's why the world's falling apart, and he's just like, he's just playing the football part. Like, Tom Brady's just kind of fucking up everywhere else. He keeps reloading, and, like, every time he reloads, he has to, like, sacrifice a percentage of the sanity of the universe. And, that's why we're just slipping into chaos, because as he's getting older, he just keeps reloading to keep winning games. Am I crazy? It's possible, man. Who knows? Who's gonna say I'm wrong? Not Blondie. She's bought in.
No, you know what, dude? You sold me. I'm sold. I'm bought in.
Tom Brady's fault. Better win a Super Bowl and not reload again.
I'll take
loser.
I'll take 10. I'll take 10. Kind of like
10 reloads?
Yeah, well, I'll take 10 of that theory. I'm buying in.
Oh, okay, word.
yeah, I'm buying in, dude. Anyway, let's go to my favorite part of this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team, Corey. The defense, of course. So, what we got going on the D-line here? We got Mr. Akeem Nicks came over from the Bears. Well, that was just a free agent re-signed. They just kind of released him. Do you know Akeem Nicks, Corey? Long-term, big fat boy up the middle. Well, he's a badass.
Sounds like a champion, though.
He's been with the Bears since forever. Absolute savage over there. Been up the middle, causing mayhem for years. But now he will be sitting.
Davis is the dude that did the little the peace sign to Tyreek Hill, right?
No, that is Mr. Winfield, our safety who we talked about earlier. Got burned by Cooper Kupp down the middle. But once again, not on Mr. Winfield. Okay, we can't be leaving single coverage on Cooper Kupp. Come on now. But anyway,
seems hazardous.
Very hazardous. Unless you're down to lose games, that's a good way to do it. So Mr. Hicks will be lining up next to our absolute stud of a first-round pick from 2018, who we have now paid arguably the best nose tackle in the whole entire NFL, Vita Vea. Arguably the strength of our defense as well. Now, of course,
the dude that just does not fear losing teeth. He'll just spit them at you.
What?
Oh, isn't he the dude that he chipped a tooth and there's just a picture of him just smiling with a bloody mouth and fucked up teeth?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe actually. Really long hair. Big. I mean, he's hard.
Yeah.
50 years old.
I know it would be the best. Mid-game, the dude just shattered one of his front teeth and he was just fuck it, whatever.
I think I do remember that actually. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, so Vita Vea, arguably the strength of this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. Williams Golston, long-term plug for us, has been there for years and years. By the way, Akeem Nicks is replacing. He's replacing Corey. He's replacing Sue, who I love Sue, but he was getting older and he was more expensive. So I think Akeem came in a little bit cheaper for us, or maybe not cheaper, but he's younger, so we could count on a little bit more out of Akeem. I'm not really sure what the exact decision was there, but that I'm not mad at it, you know. And then
right.
We didn't have a first-round pick. I forget what we did with it. We might have traded back. But our second-round pick, or our first pick as a team this year, was Logan Hall. He is a Houston D tackle. We're going to move him to the inside because we play a 3-4. So we're going to be asking a lot of this kid. But so far, looking good in camp. As I mentioned, he's the one who got thrown into Ryan Jensen's knee. Hardly his fault. But, yeah, he is the one responsible for taking Ryan Jensen out. God damn it, Logan.
He got turned into a projectile.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see it.
Just be stronger, dude. Don't get thrown around. Joe Tryon-Sharangar is our first-round pick from last year. I think he had about 5 sacks. You know, you can see he's more of he's developing as a football player still, sort of figuring out his rush lanes, figuring out what is going to be the best way to pressure the quarterback. He had a couple of rough game. He had a rough game against the Jets, honestly, last year. A lot of rushing up field, and the running backs would kind of run through that gap. You know, that he was leaving too wide open. You know what I mean? To see, he was enlarging the B gap, if you will.
Right.
So the B gap was way too big, and yeah, it led to some nasty runs against the Jets. But hey, this is year 2 for Joe. We already got him some preseason time, so he's been playing. We hope he takes some big steps forward this year. Got Carl Nassib back in the building. He briefly went over there to the to Oakland Raiders and has come back to us now. He was with us in 2019. Yeah, he was with us in 2019. But big fan of Carl Nassib. You know, he adds a little bit of diversity to our team too now, Corey. Now we have a gay guy. So they can't say we're homophobic over there.
Can't say it. Dude, that must be so valuable to be a gay dude in the league now.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's probably kind of... Don't you think it's a little awkward going into the locker room and dudes like, oh, what, dude? Checking out my dick?
No, I mean just from a PR standpoint. If you get cut, you could just play oh, they're homophobic. And
this isn't Hollywood, dude. That doesn't really apply. It's all about.
I mean, dude, I follow the NFL on Instagram, and they are every Pride, they're look at all the gay people we have employed, and on Women's Day, they're look at all the girl coaches we have, look at our female refs.
But you're not gonna be deciding between Carl Nassib and some other defensive outside linebacker on the team and be well, Carl Nassib's gay, so we gotta stick with him. trust me, that's not happening with these coaches' decisions. They're deciding whether or not it's a good football player. This isn't Hollywood. I get what you're saying. And you're gonna advertise it if you have it, but you're not going out of your way to do it. Is what I'm saying. They're not
right. But the coaching,
like, dude,
the coach hiring protocol though, they have to interview people of color before they can hire a white guy.
That's coaching, and that's it. And that's
all right. Fair enough.
That's skin, not sexual preference. And if what you're saying is true, Corey, that guy from like 2013 or whatever, remember that guy Sam whatever who got drafted in the 7th round by the Rams, and like there's a video of him like kissing his boyfriend because he was all excited he got drafted. Guy came, he played well in preseason, but ultimately didn't even make the team and didn't get re-signed by anybody else. So you don't make it in the NFL because you're gay. You make it in the NFL because you're a stud athlete. This is arguably the best athletes in the whole world, dude. Nobody's making a roster because you're gay. But it is. I see what you're saying, but yeah, I don't know if it quite applies here. With coaching, I feel like it's a little different, man. It's not so athletically based, you know. So it's like can you move or not, dude? You know what I mean? Like, we don't care who you want to bang at night. Can you move? Can you hit? Like, what are you doing? You know, it's much different than whereas if you find like a black coach who's probably just on par with the white guy, what they're saying is we would rather you hire that black guy. And I think what you're saying is probably true, maybe a little bit. Like if a coach is looking at this, maybe he does kind of factor in, you know, let's keep Carl Nass. A coach really wouldn't care about that, dude. As I'm saying it,
I don't think the coach would. But the coach wouldn't. But the PR team.
Most front offices don't get involved in coaching decisions, especially not a PR team. Imagine the coach is sitting there deciding who they're going to cut. Some fucking Facebook guy comes in like, "Hey, dude, no, we can't have you cut him. We have a whole ad campaign going on for him this week." No, dude, they're trying to win Super Bowl.
But if the PR guy is in the owner's ear and the owner is like, "Oh, we'll sell more jerseys,"
no, the owner's trying to win a Super Bowl. The owner's trying to win a Super Bowl, as is everybody else in that building. They're not trying to sell jerseys. It turns out if you win a Super Bowl, you will sell jerseys. Because they're not confused, as opposed to the Rockford Ravens, about how to build things and how to, you know, accumulate players into their league and what to focus on. But anyway, in case you were wondering about the Rockford Ravens' focus, not in the right direction, Corey. We might be taking the field with about 17 players this year. But hey, at least we'll have a nice relationship with a bunch of old people here in the city. Isn't that nice? Anyway, let's going through this defense, baby. So, Devin White, from all we're hearing from the beat writers, Devin White is playing much better in coverage right now, which is huge. He's been struggling in coverage the last 2 years, arguably regressing. The rest of the NFL season is getting better and better. He regressed last year. He had this rough year in coverage, dude. So it's good to hear that he's getting a little bit better in training camp, and hopefully he can continue that on in the main season.
What? Who is he? Oh, I guess tight ends coming down the middle? Like he's an interior linebacker.
Yeah, dude. This is the NFL nowadays. Like, they're throwing the ball in like almost every down. Linebackers absolutely have to be able to cover. I mean,
everyone's covering everyone.
He's in the same division as Alvin Kamara. He's got to defend him
I guess
days a week. But yeah,
if you're doing like zone stuff, then yeah, that makes sense. You gotta hang out your zone.
Like, even if you're in man, like sometimes the running back has to pick up, like you said, the tight end, the running back. You know, they're not going to put them on they're going to try to avoid putting them on the slot receiver, but sometimes that's what it comes down to. If you're not in the right formation and they come out with like a shitload of receivers, I mean, I think most teams are kind of switching to mostly a nickel-based team, where you want to be in a nickel base and hopefully your linebackers are fast enough to make those tackles anyway. But we're definitely moving away from the days of like three big old linebackers sitting there in the middle and like, don't worry about it, guys, just stop the run. That's what we need you for. No, you got to be a fast, very in tune linebacker now and know what the fuck the offense is planning and try to get over there and break up the pass. And Devin White's more of an instinctual player than he is a smart player, right now at least. So it's good to hear he's getting a little bit better at coverage. Hopefully he can continue that because, yeah, it was a rough year 2 or 3 for him, I forget. KJ Britt, 4th round pick from us from last year. His 5th round pick maybe. It's been playing pretty well according to beat writers. Grant Stewart, a 7th round pick from last year. Great hair on this kid, Core. Great hair on him. Apparently playing okay. And
I'd love to see it.
And we got Lamonte David as well. Let's see if we can get a picture of our boy Grant Stewart for you. But let's finish up this defense real quick. So Shaquille Barrett, Mr. 19 sacks back in 2019. So arguably our best pass rusher on the whole team. A little bit of a slower year for him last year, more around 8.5 sacks or so. But he did have a couple of nice pickoffs. He had a nice one against the Eagles in the playoffs. Kind of dropped back into pass coverage and that pretend quarterback they have over there, Jalen Hurts. Just threw it right at him. It was real nice. I'm sorry. I don't want to be a hater, but I think Jalen Hurts sucks. I know a lot of people are totally bought into that dude. And, like, I'm really not trying to be, like, a racist dude or something, but, like, just I don't know what to tell you, dude. A lot of these quarterbacks, I just don't think they're very good.
I mean, he makes plays with his legs.
Yeah, but, like, you're a quarterback. You're supposed to be making plays with your arm.
I mean, that's not really where the NFL is heading, though. Like, most of the successful quarterbacks are mobile quarterbacks.
Yeah, but you don't see Josh Allen running for 17-yard gains, like, every 2 minutes. That's not what makes him dangerous. Like, maybe he'll get out of the pocket and run for some yards every once in a while. But the only quarterback who's really doing that is Lamar Jackson. And who knows? Maybe Hurts can turn into Lamar Jackson, but I personally have my doubts. But
I mean,
the only quarterback
before Dak got hurt, that was his gig too. Dak's gig was he was a mobile quarterback. You got Kyler Murray; he's a mobile quarterback. Like
they're mobile quarterbacks, but they're not running quarterbacks. There's a difference there. So when I look at Dak Prescott, I'm more afraid of how he throws the ball. He's a good passer. He can make you pay with his arm. He may run out there and like pick up a couple yards, but he's not like running every couple plays. Whereas quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson, their whole offense is almost factored around him running that RPO option and deciding if he wants to just keep it and run it himself. And a lot of times he does.
Right.
So that's a whole offense is based around him running is what I'm trying to say. 100%, most of the great quarterbacks right now are mobile. Patrick Mahomes is mobile. Josh Allen is mobile. You mentioned Dak Prescott. I would argue Derek Carr can get out of the pocket when he needs to. Russell Wilson, obviously. But these aren't necessarily running quarterbacks. They're just guys who can get out of the pocket, maybe pick up a couple extra yards if they need to. So maybe Jalen Hurts is going to turn into that running quarterback like Lamar Jackson, but I personally have my doubts.
It kind of feels like the old quarterbacks were kind of similar to like kickers in a way. They're like, I do my one trick, and I just stand here, and everyone protects me while I do my one trick. But then they're like, hey, we could like have this guy be an athlete, and he does his trick at the same time. What do you guys think? And I was like, that's brilliant. Let's do that.
Yeah, and like it's 100% true because if you look at like, for example, the old guard is like guys like Matt Ryan, 100% a pocket passer. Aaron Rodgers we were just talking about, kind of mobile, but mostly a pocket passer. Tom Brady. I mean, all the other guys have kind of retired at this point. Philip Rivers, Drew Brees. Those guys were all pocket passers, and not Ben Roethlisberger. Ben was kind of mobile, but towards the end of his career, he was mostly just let me chuck it from here in the middle. So, yeah, we are definitely seeing a change of the guard. Maybe it's going to be probably mostly mobile quarterbacks. Maybe the scramblers are going to make a comeback. I just have never been a believer in the scrambling quarterback, but that's just me. What do I know? Anyway, so Shaquille Barrett, definitely our best pass rusher. And then Anthony Nelson had a nice year last year with about 6 sacks, I want to say. He was our 4th-round pick from 19. So it's nice to see him coming into his own. I think this is a contract year for him. So hopefully we can keep him around. He's been good, but I hope he also blows up a little bit more. Sean Murphy-Bunting are one of our better corners. We got Jamel Dean and D. Delaney. Now, D. Delaney might make the team. He's been playing pretty well. Carlton Davis, we just re-signed in the offseason. I think he's one of the best corners in the NFL. I would 100% put him top 10, if not at least top 15.
Did you lose Sean Pierre or something like that?
What?
SP Sean Pierre, I believe the name was.
Sean Murphy-Bunting. He's right here.
No, the SPP dude.
Oh, Pierre Desir?
Yeah.
No, we only picked that dude up last year, like in the middle of the year, because we were having so many cornerback injuries. But he's not really our guy.
That's not what I was thinking of then. But never mind. I don't know. Maybe that is what I was thinking of. I was thinking of a DN that apparently has been there forever. Won the Super Bowl with you guys.
Jack Barrett? Oh, Pierre Paul.
That dude, yeah.
Yeah, we finally moved on from Pierre Paul this year. He was pretty terrible last year. Injured most of the year. And he kind of played through injury, but he had a really rough year. So I think the coaching staff was ready to move on from him, which I can't blame him. You know, I appreciate.
So he just found another team. He retired.
That's a great question. I don't actually know if he's on another team right now, but I do really appreciate what he did for us, for sure. But I was ready to move on as well. You know, he was kind of falling off by 2021, you know, or 2020. Even that Super Bowl year, like, he was good, but like, I don't know. I think guys like.
It's fine. He got his ring. What else do you want? You got paid millions of dollars. You got your ring.
He got 2.
Keep it moving.
He got 2 rings because he got one with.
He's got 2 rings, bro.
He got one with the Giants too. So no, the dude had a hell of a career. But I just think as a fan, especially as a former defensive end, I want to see young pass rushers on our team. I want to see guys who like are up and coming. So like, I'm excited to see Joe Tryon-Trank. I'm excited to see Anthony Nelson. I hope these guys can take big steps forward. I want to see what Logan Hall can do. You know.
Oh man! Speaking of the end, so I had my second practice back in pads today, and so I roll up to my coach. I'm like, "Hey, so where do you want me this year?" And he's like, "I don't know. What do you feel like doing?" And I'm like, instinctively, I'm like, "I want to go back to what I'm used to. You know, I want to go play corner. That's what I've always done. That's what I'm good at." Dude, I've gained way too much weight to be a corner now. Like I've given that I've turned most of it into muscle. Like there was a time where it was just all beer gut. Now I feel like I'm closer to abs. But dude, at 200 pounds, you could not keep up with these like 120-pound Ticos. They are just too fucking fast. I'm like, all right, bro, I'm just gonna fucking sit on the line and just deck people, man. I don't want to chase around the fastest dude on the team anymore. Exactly. I'm done with that.
Exactly, dude. It's so hard.
I used to be able to do it solely because of my press. Like, if they would break away, then I was pretty much fucked, even whenever I was faster. Yeah. But I just had a really good press that they were just like, why are you pushing me? I'm trying to run my route. And they would like look at the ref, and the ref would be like, hey man, it's within 5 yards, it's legal. And I was like, see, listen to the ref.
Pussies. But yeah, I know exactly.
I remember that, dude,
that was the only way I could cover it was heavy coverage.
Dude, this one kid, I straight up push him out of bounds. Like, I kept bullying him, so his move was just to step out of bounds. So one time, I shove him out of bounds. He, like, stumbles into his own, like, sideline, and then gets back on the field and keeps running. So I kind of, like, stop, and I look at the ref, and I'm like, he went out of bounds, right? He's like, yeah, he went out of bounds. Don't worry about it. And I'm like, all right, cool. So then I just, wander it off.
If he touches the ball, that's a penalty. Because he can't be out of bounds and then be the first one to touch the ball. So, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, that's fine, right? And the ref's like, yeah, no worries. And then I tell him, like, because, in Costa Rica, a lot of people are rookies. You kind of want to coach them up. So I'm like, hey, man, don't go out of bounds. And he's like, oh, well, you're pushing me. And he, like, looks at the ref. He's like, he's pushing me out of bounds. And the ref is like, don't get pushed out of bounds, dude. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
This is what we like to call a physical sport, sir.
Maybe get, like, closer in. Don't be right on the sideline. So it's like one firm shove and you're out. Like,
or be an athlete. Be an athlete. You don't want to get pushed out of bounds?
Right, well,
be an athlete.
Debatably, he was more of an athlete than me because I could not keep up with him on, like, a go route. That's why I would shove him out of bounds before he had the opportunity.
Athletics is everything. It's strength, it's fucking muscle, it's fucking know-how, it's fucking all these things. So if you're just getting bullied on the sideline like a noob, you might not be a very good athlete.
So then would you say the best thing for training athleticism is CrossFit? Because that is explosive power. Like, I've never done it. I hear you get injured a lot, but it also seems like a really toxic culture of pushing people to lift more weight than they can when they're tired, which is just a recipe for disaster. But it seems like that's the best way to gain strength quickly and get cardio. Because if you just do weights, you're not going to get anywhere. If you just run, you're going to be like a stick. But I feel like CrossFit kind of combines those two in a very good way that would benefit you in athletic endeavors.
I guess. I would never join a CrossFit gym because, like you said, I'm not trying to be involved in some weird classes and, like, have a bunch of people, like, God-know motherfuckers who, like, this is what they do on the weekend. They're like, dude, you gotta go heavier. You're so big. Come on, man. Don't be a pussy. I don't need that at this point in my career. And, like, I also don't really know that much about training to be able to make a really educated decision about this one way or the other. I will say my coach does it for the Rockford Ravens, and he does like to implement a lot of the CrossFit practices and trainings and things that he does. A lot of bodyweight stuff. So there's definitely a lot of great stuff there. 100%. I'm sure a lot of it's great for training. You got the strength and conditioning coaches, man. They're the ones who know what you need to do. I have a guy on our team who's a trainer, and like, I can literally just go to him and be like, dude, I want to get faster, I want to get this, I want to get that. And he knows exactly which exercises to do, what to do, how to do it. And, I mean, you can say it's CrossFit, you can say it's this. It's sports science. It's strength and conditioning is what it comes down to. But I mean, yeah, if you want to go join CrossFit, do it, man. Just don't fucking throw a bunch of weight and get fucking hurt, apparently.
I have no interest in CrossFit. It looks great, but yeah.
But this is my thing. Like, so I've been thinking a lot about what sports I might play once I'm done with rugby, even though that might be many, many years from now. You know, and it's not going to be fucking anything back in the gyms, dude. I'm so sick of gyms. I've been chilling in gyms since I was like 16 years old, like fucking 4 or 5 days a week. Like, dude, get me outside. I want to go hiking. I want to ride some bikes. I want to go do other hobbies. I definitely don't want to join a fucking hobby that's built around lifting. Like, that's what the whole thing is built around, is lifting. Like, we can just come here and lift, guys. We don't have to do a whole weird thing. I don't know.
Dude, I'm here for volleyball. I feel like volleyball's where it's at.
Same.
Post football for me, it's going to be volleyball.
Same. No, for sure. I definitely want to get involved in volleyball. Corey, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this Buccaneers defense here. So, like I said, I think Carlton Davis is a top 10 cornerback. Arguably one of the most ugly motherfuckers I've ever seen in my life. But, dude, you know what's cool about Carlton Davis? I remember we drafted this kid probably 3rd, 4th round. I could be wrong about this, Bucs fans. I'm sorry. But it was a while ago we drafted this guy. Like, back when we were terrible. Maybe 16. Yeah, I think we drafted him 16 the same year we drafted fucking Vernon Hargraves, that piece of crap. But anyway, fucking, we got Carlton Davis late in the year, in the draft. And, like, I remember just seeing him out there as a rookie, like, right away. You know why? Because the dude was, like, drawing, like, personal penalties, like, every 2 seconds his rookie year, dude. Referees hated this guy. His first 3 years, dude, the guy was just drawing penalties, like, every 2 seconds. But, dude, it was hard to deny that he was around the ball, like, all the time. He was always,
there.
He was always there, involved with these receivers. And, like, some of them were pass interferences, but, dude, like, you could see signs of this dude being a guy. Like, granted, he has no hands. I think I saw him last year, like, drop multiple interceptions. But it's starting to be at the point where quarterbacks aren't throwing the ball at this guy's on the side anymore, because he is shutting shit down. And he's really coming into his own.
It's safe. It's not going to be a pick, no matter what.
He's been really coming into his own these last 2 years. So our Super Bowl run obviously just played absolutely out of his mind. Last year, literally everybody in the secondary was getting fucking massacred and going down with injuries. Not Carlton Davis. Dude hung in there, held down his fucking sign. As one of the beat reporters put it, he's holding down his sign while he's holding down his foxhole while the rest of his boys are getting absolutely bombarded. So it's he's a leader on that secondary. I'm really happy they managed to re-sign this guy, and we got him for a good price too. So I'm really excited for Carlton Davis to continue to play for this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. One guy we weren't able to bring back for us was Whitehead, and I got a lot of respect for Whitehead and what he did for us as an organization. Once again, drafted I think the same time as Carlton Davis, actually. So maybe that's that 2018 draft. I'm not sure. Contract year, we just couldn't afford to pay the kid. But he played really well for us. Started as a rookie, I want to say, and just played all 4 years for us. Like, so mad respect to Whitehead. I hope he does well. I think he signed with the Jets. So I hope he does well with the Jets. But who we have been having kind of in the background here for a long time is Mike Edwards. 3rd round pick, once again. 18, 17, sorry, Bucs fans, somewhere in there. But anyway, the point is, another guy we drafted. And so that's why, Corey, I go absolutely bananas when Fairweather fans want to be like, oh, you guys bought your Super Bowl. Let me go ahead and go through this list with you, dude, of people who won the Super Bowl. Mike Edwards was on that team. Multiple interceptions that year. Homegrown talent. Antonio Winfield, 2nd round pick that year we won the Super Bowl. Carlton Davis, I just got into his whole history with us. Jamel Dean drafted the same year as Carlton Davis, also our own product. Sean Murphy Bunting drafted the year before we won. Anthony Nelson drafted in the 4th round multiple years before. Shaquille Barrett, we got in free agency, but he was on our team in 2019 before the GOAT joined. Anthony Nelson, I already said that, sorry. Grant Stewart, we drafted that year, actually. No, he was 2021, actually, never mind. But Lamonte David, dude, we've had Lamonte David since 2013, Lamonte David. I can't even believe I skipped over Lamonte David. What a disrespect to the absolute fucking center of this defense. Now, I said Vita Vea is the power of this defense, and I stayed by that. But goddamn, dude, if Lamonte David isn't the absolute leader of this team, and for sure the leader of this defense. All right, the GOAT's on our team now, so we know who the real is. But Lamonte David is my guy, dude. I remember we drafted that guy since 2013. He's just been a stud for us ever since he got into the league. One of the most underrated interior linebackers in the whole NFL. And it's fucking disgusting. I don't even know if the kid has a fucking Pro Bowl yet. And you know why? Because the NFL is obsessed with Bobby Wagner. They're obsessed with fucking Luke Kuechly was around during this time too. And these are good interior linebackers, Corey. Don't get me wrong. But they're playing in a different system. And you know what else Lamonte David was being compared to? He was being compared to outside linebackers. So he's having to go against guys like Von Miller. He's not rushing the quarterback. Why is he going against Von Miller? It's ridiculous. So there's a lot of snubs, a lot of absolute bullshit. This guy deserves to be a 10-time fucking Pro Bowler. If I think one of the best linebackers to play, no bullshit, I think this kid's a top 10, all right, maybe a top 15 linebacker all time, dude. Like, he is fucking good, and people do not give him his due respect. But yes, Lamonte David's my fucking guy. Homegrown talent, Corey. Devin White, homegrown talent, was a second-year absolute stud for us that year. I think he was a rookie that year, actually. I don't even know. Carl Nassib was not on the team. Joe Schweinsteiger was not on the team. William Golston was on the team, won a Super Bowl with us. Homegrown talent, dude. Once again, like a 6th-round pick from like way back in the day. And the dude just has hung on to the roster for years now. He's been all through the Jameis Winston where we were just like, we'd have like a whole new defensive unit like almost every year. But like this guy just stuck in there, dude. Multiple coaching staffs have come through, seen William Golston, be like, I want to replace this guy, and they've just not been able to because he's that guy. He's that dude who just hangs there, does his job, and you know he had a couple good years for us. Homegrown talent, Vita Vea, homegrown talent. Akeem Nicks wasn't there, but we had Sue with us, who had already been with us in the 2019 season as well. So that's why it goes in crazy to me when people are trying to say we bought our Super Bowl. Not done yet. Let me go into the offense. I can see you have a response here, which is great. But hold on. Let me go into the offense real quick. Mike Evans, 2013 first-round pick. We don't have time to get into the whole thing I did with the defense. I'm very passionate about the defense. I will come back to my offensive boys here with the Buccaneers because I love them too. But you know how I feel about defense. That's why I had to get all passionate with those boys. Mike Evans, enough said. Enough said, dude. Absolute disrespect to Mike Evans throughout most of his career. Holds the NFL record for most seasons of 1,000 yards consistently since his rookie year. I think it was last year he beat Moss's record for that. Kid does not get the respect he deserves. Chris Godwin was on our team, homegrown talent. Donovan Smith was on our team, homegrown talent. At that time we had oh my God, please don't let me do this. Fucking his name. Don't blank on it. Marpet. We had Marpet. We had Ali Marpet on our team. He retired last year from just concussions. He had a rough concussion last year. Missed a lot of games because of it. Dude, this is a D3 guy. The Buccaneers drafted this guy, like, I want to say 3rd round or something, like a couple years ago. And he's been an all-pro for us since he arrived his rookie year. He retired last year due to a lot of concussions. But he was on that Super Bowl team. And he was arguably our best guard for sure. If not our best offensive lineman. Homegrown talent. Brian Jensen, free agency acquisition, but we brought him in 2019 before the GOAT was here, Corey. At that time, we had right guard. He's with the Cincinnati now. Kappa, Alex Kappa. We had him once again drafted ourselves. Homegrown talent, was playing the other guard that year. Then, of course, Tristan Wirfs, rookie year, absolutely dominated. Homegrown talent. We had Cameron Brate. All right, so we had Gronk. Yeah, all right, that wasn't our main guy. But guess who else we had that year? Cameron Brate and O.J. Howard. Homegrown talents. Quarterback, we had Tom Brady. Yeah, sure. Not going to say that's our guy, 100%. But guess who we had? And Leonard Fournette was also a byproduct of Brady. If anything, Gianni Bernard was not on our team that year, so never mind. But we had Ronald Jones, homegrown talent. So anyway, to all you fucking haters out there trying to say the Buccaneers bought their Super Bowl, do your research. What were you saying, Cor?
So, do people actually say that the Bucs bought their Super Bowl?
Yeah. Dumb people don't. Well,
so I don't.
mostly it's dumb. Dude, I realize the world is full of dudes who just want to talk shit because they realize we're in an era where you can't just get punched anymore. You're not gonna just get punched for talking shit. So a lot of dudes just talk shit to talk shit, and it's very annoying to me. But yeah, so I've met a lot of dumb idiots who just like find out I'm a Bucks fan. They're like, oh, yeah. They try to say that thing. I'm a fucking bandwagon fan. I'll be like, dude, I've been here since the fucking Freeman days. I've been here since the Chris Sims days, motherfucker. Shut the fuck up. But then they want to go into, oh, the Brady's a cheater, and oh, you guys won a Super Bowl, all kinds of bullshit, dude. Yeah, I definitely had some dude try to tell me that the Buccaneers bought their Super Bowl because of Gronk and Brady. I'm like, dude. Scotty Miller on the team that year, too, had a fucking key touchdown pass at halftime against the Packers. Homegrown talent. Tyler Johnson, huge catch against the Saints in that playoff game. Homegrown talent. Anyway, sorry. You know, dude?
Dude, I mean, I hear people talk shit about the Cowboys just because of the Cowboys. And I'm like, 100%. But why? Like, what have...
Because we're in the era.
Who are you fan of? And they're like, oh, I'm a Saints fan. It's like, we're not even in the same division, bro. Like, if you're like a Redskins fan or a Giants fan, maybe. But you're not even in the same division. Like, why do you care? I'm not sitting here saying, like, the fucking Bears. And, like, if I hear someone's a Bears fan, I'm going to, like, shit on them. I'm like, I do not care who you are, bro. Like, your team's cool, whatever. They're over there. We play occasionally.
There's one team out there I'll just say, fuck the Saints. Like, anytime I hear about the Saints, see the Saints, fuck the Saints. But if you're a Saints fan, it's not like I'm going to immediately dislike you or talk shit to... you know, I'm not going to, but I'm like, I strongly dislike that team. You know what I mean? And I wish them ill. But I'm not going to talk shit to their fans. I'm not going to talk shit to their fans. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. You guys are whatever. But I'm not going to talk shit to them. But like, we're in the era now where people just talk shit for fucking talking shit, dude, because you can't, you don't get attacked anymore. You don't have, there's no repercussions anymore. Just say whatever.
You can't challenge people to a duel.
It's all good, dude. Whatever. What to say whatever. Look, all this commotion has woken up Pepper. And she's not happy about this, okay? She also doesn't like all the propaganda going on about the Buccaneers. Right, Pepper? Tell them. Sorry, you're so cute.
She's probably actually seen a couple Bucks games.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, she's an avid Buccaneers fan. Anyway, Corey, I don't even think we need to go into the fucking... Who are we going to cover? The Titans?
The Titans.
Fuck the Titans. I feel like we did an absolutely beautiful coverage here of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I think that's all we really need to talk about. But, did you want to do a non-sponsor sponsor? Because then I guess we could circle and talk some Titans, or should we just fuck it?
We can do a non-sponsor sponsor, but yeah, I think we're already like an hour and change in. I don't think we really gotta push too much further.
Yeah, hit him with a non-sponsor sponsor to close out the podcast. Well, why not?
All right, boys, and potential one girl. Now, this may not seem like a big deal, but did you know that Alzheimer's is connected to bad teeth? If you have bad teeth, you're more likely to get Alzheimer's and you will go insane earlier. So I get that the earth kind of sucks and no one wants to be here fully conscious, but you should still take care of your teeth because if you don't, you're going to have to go to the dentist. It's going to be expensive. There's going to be a drill. You don't want that. All this to say, start fucking flossing, people. Keep it around your desk. You're watching a video, whatever. Like, people always say, like, do it before you go to bed. Personally, I'll floss while I'm watching a video. Then I'll go upstairs and brush my teeth, and then I go to bed.
Flossing's so hard, though, dude. It's so hard.
Just find a system that works for you because dental hygiene is very important because, A, if you don't, you're going to have bad breath. You're not going to get laid. You know, it's going to be bad for business. No one wants to buy something from a stinky person, and bad breath is the most prominent source of stinkiness.
Yeah.
So you need a floss for that. If you don't, you'll get cavities, and if you get cavities, you have to go to the dentist. That's expensive, especially if you live in the States, because, you know, dental health care is hard to come by. So yeah, all I have to say, just fucking floss, people.
Floss, dude.
Good.
Brush your teeth.
Floss, man. Any fucking brand. I'm not sponsoring a particular brand. This one is called...
This is the public service announcement.
Dental floss waxed. Dental floss waxed. Or any other floss.
From Sports by Compian, we want you to floss.
Yeah.
We will try to floss ourselves. I'm sold myself, Corey.
The one thing I will say about Tennessee, Steven, are you from Tennessee?
No, but I might move there at some point in my life. I could see myself living in Nashville. It's really nice.
because you're the only 10 I see.
All right. So just in case anyone thought maybe, oh, you know what, dude, there's just so much Buccaneers content today, you should probably not listen to our channel anymore. Because I am an avid Buccaneers fan, and I love talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And as you can see, this was probably one of my funner episodes, just going deep into our boys. I love covering them. We will be covering them.
Spreading the cheeks.
As the season.
Just spreading the cheeks and looking around in there.
Just check it all out. I mean, that's a really weird analogy. I'm kind of a little disturbed by that myself.
That's from Boys Critical.
And just in case anyone wondering, right above my head here, this is our first Super Bowl results. And kind of in like a little thingy bob. It's kind of cool. But yeah, dude, we've been at this game for a while watching the Buccaneers, and I'm happy to finally see some good Tampa Bay Buccaneer football. Because, fuck, dude, there's been a lot of really bad Tampa Bay Buccaneer football, Corey. And you may or may not know this as being my little brother who had to watch me watch a terrible team. But,
yeah,
it was weird.
Like, so I was very angry.
There was a lot of very irrational hate for the Cowboys, as you mentioned, which is, I just like it's kind of funny because it's just strange. I guess they've just been around for so long, and that's why everyone hates them.
Well, so they were really good back in the day.
Right.
They stopped being good the year I was born. The year I was born was the last year they won a Super Bowl, so that's literally 27 years ago. And the hatred that, like, they were the Patriots of the 90s. So I feel like they probably accumulated a lot of bandwagon fans just because they were winning. So there was just the same way that we now kind of throw shade at Patriots fans, like, you just pick the team that wins all the time. I think that's how Cowboys fans caught shade initially. And then those people just passed down the hatred of Cowboys to their kids. So now, now people hate on Cowboys fans for shits and giggles. And dude, I'm moving to New York. I've been there multiple times. Anytime I mention it, tons of shade. And that's understandable. That's New York. That's Giants country. So I get that. But whenever I hear about Costa Ricans who have literally never been to the States and pick a random, they like close their eyes, throw a dart at a map of the States and like, I'm rooting for that team. And they're like, I hate the Cowboys. It's like, fuck you, I hate Saprissa. And they're like, how dare you? And I'm like, I don't, bro. I give zero fucks about soccer. Calm down.
So, another public service announcement from Sports by Compian. People are caring about too much dumb shit. Stop caring about dumb shit on the internet and just dumb shit in general. Like, focusing your energy on, like, hating the Cowboys or just talking too much shit in general. Just go focus on yourself and stop being such a fucktard.
Well, so one point I'd like to go back to, I don't know how we're talking about the Cowboys hate now, but I remember in my team chat one time, the Cowboys had just got knocked out of the playoffs on a bullshit play where the ref literally sacked our quarterback so we couldn't get the playoff. Do you remember this play from last year? I believe it was against the 49ers, yeah.
I remember you describing this to me, and I'm not sure. There was definitely some weirdness, but I don't remember that game.
The ref wasn't there to set the ball. The ref didn't set the ball, so the Cowboys set the ball. They were trying to get the snap off because they had like 2 seconds, and before they could, the ref came sprinting from like 40 yards away and pushed Dak out of the way, picks up the ball, and puts it right back down because the ref has to set the ball. And then we ran out of time, and that was the end of the game.
I do remember this.
So after seeing that, I was extremely angry, and somebody in my chat, someone from my team football chat, was like, I'm so happy to see the Cowboys lose. And I'm like, way to be a hater, bro. And he's like, oh, that's not hate, it's all love. I'm like, no, listen, what are you? He's like, oh, I'm a Saints fan. I'm like, okay, so you are a fan of the Saints. Your team was not involved here. You're not a fucking 49ers fan, so you're not celebrating the 49ers won. You're celebrating the Cowboys lost. So you're not rooting for a positive. No. You just don't want these people to succeed. So that is the definition of a hater. It's not my team against your team. It's I just don't like your team. So that is and I tried to explain this to this dude, and he's like, nah, man, it's all love. I just love seeing the Cowboys lose. And I'm like, this conversation is going nowhere. It's been real. I'll see you in practice.
Yeah, that's where you just stop the conversation. You're like, okay, you're an idiot.
Yeah. I gave you valid points, and you were just like, that doesn't fit my narrative. I'm going to pretend you didn't say that.
I'll tell you what, Corey, as a salesperson who goes out there and rebuttals people, I never hear them, like, me say some flawless execution to what they said to me as far as their nonsense rebuttal as to why they don't want to do it. And I'm like, there's an easy solution to that. And they're like, yeah, but this is the exact same thing I just said to you. And sometimes you just have to terminate the conversation and move on with your day, you know?
You just, you gotta save that mental energy.
Got to. There's a lot of fucking drain out there. People, don't be drained. The football season is fucking coming. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are about to take another Super Bowl. It's going to be a fucking great year. Let's get excited. Thanks for watching Sports
Get excited.
Compian. We out.